to the cloud. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 3:30 R9 Tech Bits. Today's presenter is Jennifer Johnson, who is an R9 math instructional coach. Jennifer Johnson is starting her 25th year in education. She's a level 3 teaching, has a level 3 teaching license and a master's degree from NMSU in teaching mathematics. She taught in Ruidoso schools for the past 23 years, and we are really blessed to have her presenting today. Jennifer, it's all yours.
All right, thank you. All right, so this is just kind of a little snapshot of my life. These are my, you can't really see because they're kind of covered up over here, but this is my family and my sweet little granddaughter. So Toby, that's my family in a nutshell. With the exception of my one son-in-law, he wasn't in the picture. So the one that has the grandbaby, that was taken at the state football game the other, probably a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so we did get one picture really quickly. So, all right, so that's my email. Let me get on. So of course, these are just norms. I think I even got these from an R9, a previous meeting I was in. So I just kind of copied them on there so people can read through those. All right. So you might be asking yourself, what is Loom? And how can it be helpful to you as an educator? Or for Toby, in your case, how can this be helpful for you for working at Region 9? I foresee lots of possibilities for anyone to be able to use Loom, especially if you have to communicate with groups of people. So this is definitely something that can be useful. This was just a quick quote that I found that's just, I feel like is amazing for our teachers. So if you have to put someone on a pedestal, put teachers, they are society's heroes. So being out in the schools and seeing teachers working day in and day out on this changing platforms, and I mean, they're just amazing, and it's fun to see how creative and innovative they are. So thank a teacher, and they are society's heroes. All right, so the objectives for today is Loom will be defined, the purpose and uses for it, how to log in and set it up, and then trying it out yourself. And I will tell you, when I was first introduced to it, you know, I was like, is it going to be difficult? Because we were learning new platforms for all kinds of stuff. And it was like just one more thing to add to the plate. Seemed a little daunting, but you will soon see that it is a very simple and very streamlined process, and it's not difficult at all, and very fun and easy to use. Okay, so Loom is a video messaging tool that helps you get your message across through instantly shareable videos. With Loom, you can record your camera, microphone, and desktop simultaneously. Your video is then instantly available to share through Loom's patent and technology. Just to kind of give you a heads up as to where, sorry, let me go back to a head. Oh, what am I doing? Hold on, sorry. How I was first introduced, Coach Crow was a teacher at Ruidoso High School, and he talked about it just briefly, like in passing, about this Loom and how he uses it for his classes. He was an English teacher at Ruidoso High School. So he explained, you know, kind of the process. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to jump on and try it. And I fell in love with it. The way I used Loom, well, first, I'll go into the next slide real quick, sorry. Some people might ask, why would you use Loom? So there's pros and cons. I think with anything out there, there's good things about certain things, and then there's some cons about certain things. So I wanted to share both the pros and the cons. The pros for Loom is it makes video, audio, and the entire window capture fast and automatic. Your screen recorders are saved automatically to your user's Loom account. You helps organize videos online in folders and can move items from one folder to another. You can record and access as many videos as you need and then you can manage through links, and users don't need to download any file. And what that means is they, like with some apps or some things, it's like, please download. And sometimes you have to have a credit card on file and things like that. That is not the case for Loom. When you send someone a video that you have created, they simply just click the link and they can watch your video. So it's nothing that they have to download. The cons for the Loom, this is just what users that have been using it for a while have stated. The interface can be more intuitive and user-friendly, has some audio quality issues on some occasions. And I would almost attribute that to whether you're having stability issues with your internet. The video editing features can be made simpler, which I will say, I want to say November, it was either October 1st or November 1st, they actually made some changes to the video editing. And what I envision when you see like someone doing a video editing and you see the waves, that's when like someone is talking. And then if it just kind of, there's no waves, that's when you're not talking. They've added that feature to Loom. So you can actually go in and see, like if there's like some silence, you can edit that out and things like that. So they have made adjustments here recently to that. Users sometimes face challenges in recording long videos. And we'll talk about that in just briefly, but educators get a free account, which I think is fabulous, because there are some expenses if you don't want the basic account. The basic account's very limited. You can only have like 5-minute videos and things like that. The teacher account is the pro account. And with the pro account, you get up to like 45 minutes of a video, okay? And it's really simple to sign up for your free education account. You just have to prove that you work, for even a co-op, the schools, a college, any of those things. So that will help as far as the teacher, working in education aspect. You will, once you validate that you are working in that environment, then you will be allowed to do up to like 45 minutes. Also, another con, it will be great if audio can be separated from the video. All right. Do we have any questions as of yet?
So primarily as a teacher, you used it to just do a lesson and.
So thank you for asking that. So what I mainly did was I would create looms at like the very beginning of the week, and I would talk about the expectations for the week. I would then also introduce a lesson. Then you send the link to your students. And the reason why I like this so much is because students can watch it on their own time. The other cool feature is once it's been watched, it lets you know that who's watched the video. So I used it last year and the year before, at the very end, like May of 2020. That's when it was pretty much introduced to me. So I used it, and it would give me, so-and-so, Johnny watched this video at this time. So it would send me an email as to when the student watched it, so I could keep track of which students watched it and things like that. And then I could go back and resend it again to those students that didn't, just here's another reminder, I really need you to watch this video. Another reason why I liked it so much is it is great for differentiation and modification. And here's why. Because if you have your special education students, your ELL, your dual language students, if they need to pause, like let's say I'm introducing a new math concept, a new math lesson, and I'm going over step by step how to do something, they can pause that video, work through it, start the video, work through it, pause it, so they have the capabilities of pausing and rewatching it if they were confused. So it's great for that, and to help for better understanding. I also used it, like I said previously, when I, just as a welcome. You have to think when so August 2020, we had freshmen that were so excited about being high school students, and they lost that opportunity because we were online. They didn't know who I was. They didn't have an image of me. They didn't have a picture of me. And so Loom was a great feature, because with Loom, You can do a screen and the camera, so you can show your desktop and you yourself in live video format. You can do just the screen if you just want to show them, you know, if you want to open up, if you have a book. So for like your English language arts, if you have something, you know, a textbook you want to open up, then you can also just create announcements and just have the camera only. And I have a video that will show that. Did that answer your question, Toby?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry,
All
I
right.
won't let you go
No.
fast. I
No,
won't
you're
ask any more
good.
questions.
You're good. No, that's great. You are great. All right, three reasons Loom is good for a good tool for educators. Use Loom to record and FaceTime messages so your kids can see your face. They can make connections. It goes back to what I was talking about, those poor freshmen that had no clue who I was. They were actually able to put a name with a face. The second reason is you would use Loom to record a computer tech tutorial. One thing I did, once we had PLCs and started noticing, our students didn't know how to properly create emails. And what I mean by that is I would have students send me an email and the entire email would be in the subject line. Like they would just sit and type, you know, like a whole paragraph in the subject line. And so I started asking other teachers, I'm like, are you seeing this as well? And they're like, yes, there's nothing in the message area. It's all in the subject area. So I thought, well, they probably haven't been taught how to do a proper email. And so I actually created a Loom for my students to teach them how to create an email. You know, how the subject area is just a small snippet of what your entire message is going to be about. How you address, if you're going to just send a, you know, a message to your friend, it's going to be different than how you would send a message to, you know, one of your teachers, how you would address them. So then what ended up happening was I sent that out to the math team. They then sent it to their students, and then word got out and I shared the video with the entire staff so they could also send that video out. So it's great for anything like that as well. The third reason, use Loom to explain assignments to your students. So each day or week or a task can start with a Loom video link. Just the expectations, letting them know. You can record all your videos for the week at once. So like, just like you would do, you know, like you're planning, I tend to plan on Sundays. And so if I, you know, I would sit down and just create all my Loom videos at once and then prepare them. So and then send the links for each day that I wanted them to view them. Like the certain platforms, I could put it in their Hapara or a Canvas platform and the link, and then the students would click on it. It would open it up on that certain day that I wanted them to open it. The other, again, the cool thing too, is that Loom lets you know when your video has been watched. The other nice thing, and I've mentioned this before, is that students can re-watch the videos, which is so, so important for differentiation and modification for our students. All right, so real quick, this is just going to kind of give you a little picture of it. So this lady explains a little bit more in detail, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about when it talks about the screen and camera, the screen only and camera only. So I'm going to go ahead and start this video. Did it go to the video, guys?
My job is
Okay.
to make college easier because students have a lot on their.
Hey there, I'm Allie. I'm part of the
So as you
customer
can see
education
her
team at
picture,
Loom, and I'm
that's-
here to show you how
that's the
quick and
camera
easy
and
it is
screen.
to record using the Loom Chrome extension. After you've installed the extension, click on the Loom logo to see your recording options. You can choose to record using your screen and camera, as I'm doing right now, or if you're feeling a bit camera shy, choose screen only, and that'll only record your screen. You can also choose camera only to only record your face. You can choose to share your full desktop or just your current tab, and you can also change your microphone and camera. If you click on Show Advanced Options, you'll see a few other settings that you can toggle on and off. Once you're ready to record, you'll choose the screen that you want to share, and you'll be prompted by a countdown so you can take a second to gather your thoughts. Now you're recording. Once you're satisfied with your recording and you're ready to share and edit your video, click on the Finish Recording button. This will instantly take you to your video so you can make any edits and share it. You can change the name down here, and you can also play around with access control to control who can see your video. You can send your video using the copy link option to instantly share the link. Or if you choose Team Library or the share options here, there are a few other ways you can share. If you scroll down to edit your video, you can play around with some other settings or trim your video. Or if you're on a Loom business or enterprise plan, you can add a call to action or a custom thumbnail. Thanks for watching and happy recording.
All right. Let me click that. Oh, I don't know what. Oh.
Hello, everyone.
Uh-oh.
My name is Joe, and I'm going to be
Sorry,
facilitating
let
this
me
course for
see.
you today.
Hold on just a second.
Today, we're going to be talking about Google Sheets. Now,
Great.
Google Sheets is a spreadsheet program included as part of a free
Hold on,
web-based software
sorry.
within the Office suite offered by Google. Really
Let me
excited to
just
be
stop
here with you
this.
today.
Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So let me go to view. I'm gonna have to. All right. So I'm not gonna show this whole video of this next one, Toby. But this kind of gives you a little bit more information about it as well.
Okay.
So here we go. Maybe. So this is actual Loom video that she's uploaded.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing all right. I just want to give you a quick introduction to something called Loom, which is a tool used to capture videos like this one that show you and your desktop or browser. So what I want to do today is just use this tool to show you how to install the
see
tool
how
on
she
your
moves
computer,
her
and then just
picture
the basics of how
around.
to use it. And if anybody has more questions about this tool, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to show you or walk you through the steps again or in more depth individually. So in order to access Loom, you really just start with Google. If you Google Loom, it'll come up, and I'm already logged in, so it takes me to the login screen. But if I wasn't logged in, then I would simply log in with Google. Because we are a school, we also get free access to the pro features, which is awesome. So I would just click get Loom for free and sign up with Google and sign in with my school account. And it's really as easy as that. Then you're just immediately taken to this home screen, which is where your videos will live once you start creating them. Once you've gotten to this place, it's kind of important for you to decide how you want to use the tool. There are two ways to use it. You can add it to your Chrome browser, which I think is probably the easiest way, because then it shows up here. You can see where I'm hovering. And anytime you're using the internet, if you want to start creating a Loom video, you just click that button and immediately you can start recording yourself or your screen. That's a really easy way to do it. And if you like that option, just gonna move myself over here, you would just follow the prompts on loom.com. Usually there's buttons that stick up, but if you're having any trouble, I just Googled Loom Chrome extension, and it's the first thing that comes up in the Google search. And Abasi and Jordan have made it so that we can add this to our Chrome browser with no trouble. So instead of saying remove Chrome, would say add to Chrome, and you would just click that button and immediately it will add it to Chrome. The other option here is if you are on a MacBook or an iPad, or honestly, I think this works for Android as well, just fine, but you can also install it as an app. On a computer, it's kind of up to you. If you're comfortable doing that, you can. If not, I don't think you need to use the app on a computer. But if you're working on an iPad, this is probably really helpful, because then you can capture your screen while you're working on other apps on your iPad. But in either case, if you want to install Loom as an app, you would, once you're logged into Loom, so this is back to my home screen again, if you click here where it says more, there's a link straight to the desktop app that you can click and then install the app on your computer. I already have it, but I would click download for Mac and it would just download it. The benefit of putting it on your computer as opposed to adding it to Chrome really just depends on your use. If you want to ever capture your desktop, for example, or you want to capture a PDF file that's open on your computer that's not online, the app can be useful. At this point, I think most of us are operating off of Google Drive, which
means we have to be using a browser anyway. So the Chrome app is fine. Either way, you just need to pick how you're going to use it, because once you have it installed on your computer, then when I click this button, which I can't do now because it will stop my recording, but if I click my Loom app, or if you click your Chrome extension, a little thing pops up that just says start recording. And from there, you can decide what you want to capture. As you can see at the bottom of my screen here, the bottom of my image, there's these 3 dots. And in those 3 dots, this kind of shows you what it is that you can capture. So I can include myself in this video live, the way I'm talking to you now, or a recording of me speaking to you now. I can make myself larger or smaller. I can move myself around the screen, which is nice. I can also, if I wanted to, make myself the whole screen. So if you just want to speak to people directly, you're not really concerned about what's on your desktop, this can be a nice alternative to something like iMovie, because you don't have to export it after. Alternatively, if I don't really want my face, but I just want my voice, I can also click on this little guy, and that will just put your avatar, whatever your school photo is that's in your account, will just replace that. And now my voice is here, but not me. So for the purposes of this, of course, I want to talk to you, so I'm keeping myself live, but there's different options for what you can do. And throughout the process of recording, I can also add annotations. So over here on the side of my screen, because I have the app installed on my computer, I can decide that I want to draw on the screen. So I can make, this allows you to emphasize certain things, and they just stay for a bit and then they go away. So it's really just for like interacting with the person you're speaking to, directing them to certain things, whatever that may be. If you're looking to actually write on the screen while using Loom in a way that can stay there so students can look at it as if they were doing a math lesson or something, then you would want to use Loom while interacting with a different app. So you might open up like a whiteboard app, have Loom recording while you write on the screen. This is especially useful if you have an iPad or something like that. The last thing to note is once you are finished with your Loom video, I would click this stop button. And if I was completely done and I'm wanting to like upload it, the stop button is for that. If I need to take a break because I still am recording, but I need to grab something, maybe I'm just confusing myself and I need to take a break and then resume, you can use the pause button for that. And then there's a trash can button where if you start and you just right away decide I don't want that video to exist anymore, you can just throw it out and then start again. But once you're finished and you're ready to look at your video, you would click the stop button here, and it will take you immediately to your videos in your Loom account. This is the really nice part about this tool, is that you don't have to go through the process of exporting the video and then uploading it somewhere else. It just automatically brings it straight to your account and it leaves it here. And because we're educators, we don't have a limit on how many videos we can upload. And then you can do whatever you'd like with it. So I've done a couple of tests here, just kind of checking out what the capabilities are. And yesterday I was showing an 8th grade student what to do with Loom. And you can see like now this is the video. So once I'm in my editing feature, I can decide, do I want to just rewatch it? I can also change the speed of it. So I can say I want to watch it at 1.2 times speed, 1.5. This can be good if it's if you're reading out loud and you want to speed it up slightly so that kids are not listening for as long. There's things like that you can do. The other thing that I can do here is I can actually start making edits to it. And there's not huge editing capability with Loom, but you can do basic things like trim things out that you don't want. So if I'm looking back at this video and I realize that, the first chunk of it, I don't really like, it's not necessary for me, I can just go ahead and trim that out by clicking remove, and then I can move myself somewhere else. So like if I get to another part of the video and realize, oh, this I don't like, I can trim out that part as well. And everything in red now is no longer going to show up in your video. And this is really nice for just, if there's parts of it that you thought were repetitive or your dog was barking or whatever, you can remove parts that you don't like, and then you just publish your changes, and now the video is different. It has those things no longer in it. And the nice thing about this too is that once it's done, you can do so much with it. You can duplicate the video. You can download the video as an MP4, which is a video file. So as soon as I am done, I can download it. Now it actually just exists on my computer. So if I wanted to send this via email to someone, I can just send the file directly to them, and it just becomes like a QuickTime movie file that they can now watch. So that's really easy. The other thing you can do is you can share this video, and there's so many different ways you can share it. So once a video is done, you can just share the link. You can also embed the video into something. And when you share this via link, so for example, if I wanted to share this link with someone in my Google Classroom, I would just copy the link. I'm going to go to my Google Classroom that doesn't have any students in it to show you. And I can now create a post. So I'm just in my stream of my class, I'm going to say, check out this video. And I can link to it just here. And now there it is. So I can post this, and now my students would see this, and they could easily just click on this link. It takes them to the video directly, and they can watch it.
And it'll also be this video.
So
I
here's
can
me
show
telling
you
you
that
all
if you're
about
working on this.
Now, the cool thing about the watch feature, if you're sharing this video, is that you can see the people who viewed it. You can also create sort of like almost like a discussion forum here. So if you ask them to comment on it, they could comment something about what they thought. And the older the students, the more potential there is for people to actually interact with your video. And you can also do things like add a password to the video. So if you want this to be something that only certain kids can access, you could share it with just them. If you feel uncomfortable putting things onto the internet that are public to everyone, you could password protect the video and give your students the password to see it. I wouldn't say you have to add a password, but it's a nice feature. And you can also just add certain people to the video. So if you want just certain email addresses to be able to access it, that's something you could also do.
So I'm going to go ahead and stop that for now. And go back to my screen. Maybe. Okay, so that was kind of it in a nutshell. One thing I would say is it's great for those tutorials when you can actually circle and highlight things where you want them to look at specifically at. If you're having to explain, like I can just picture like trying to get someone logged in, I could even see this using this with my parents, trying to help them get, if I wasn't sitting right beside them, helping them get logged into just about anything. But I think more than anything, what's so great about it is it's the connections that you make, because you get to see the person and it's like they're actually, sitting right beside you. I did use it a lot. I love that where you get the pencil or the pen and you're able to, I was able to show students the math problems and things like that. But something I didn't know up until getting ready for this presentation is the whole thing about once they viewed it, you can actually do like where they can communicate back and forth. You can do a forum where they could post questions and things like that. So. But that's kind of,
cool.
yeah, it's a really cool. And like I said earlier, the person that created it that wasn't the intention, was for educators. It was more so for the business aspect of it and trying to, send out meeting notes and things like that for his employees. So it's a pretty cool program and it's pretty simple to use. That's what I like the most about it, because that's the last thing we want to do is add one more thing to a teacher's plate. And so I just feel like it's kind of the best of both worlds. Because when we think about a lot of things, we're not currently doing remote learning right now, but we have kids quarantining all the time. So we could easily, create a video for them and they could be part of the action as far as the classrooms are concerned. So
Yeah.
that's kind of it. Did you have any? And like I said, it's not really difficult at all to get the account. It doesn't take any time at all. And being a Region 9 employee, we are considered we're under the education umbrella. So April, that shouldn't be hard for you to get one either. So
Yeah, I actually have I've gotten that far. I've downloaded the
Oh, good.
app. I did a Google Chrome extension actually, and it did show us on the list, Region 9 on the list. So I was able to just get it and no charge.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I'm
And
on my way.
the Pro is great because it's the 45 minutes. I mean, it's got a lot of features that the basic doesn't have at no cost. So
Well, if it ends up working, maybe we can do a purchase Region 9 account and then go from there. Or
Yeah.
I can reach out to them and see if they're willing to sponsor us.
yeah.
That would be exciting. And then we can open it up to other people.
Oh,
So
that would be awesome.
there's some things that we can work towards. If
Yeah, and let me
we
know. I don't mind helping and brainstorming and coming up with ideas. So,
Okay.
all right.
Thanks for staying on and showing me.
Yeah, no problem. It's a great,
Bye.
it's a great tool. I like it a lot. So, all right.
Well, I'll play with that some.
Yeah, I could see you utilizing it to send maybe even directions for, your upcoming stuff in the spring for, people that you need. You could create some sort of a memo that this is what you need and this is where you would find the information. Because I think it really helps. I don't know if you're like me, but I'll look at a screen and they're like, it's right there. And I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah.
So it's helpful whenever you can highlight or circle it. So anyway, and to be able to pause it and go back. Because I don't know how many times I've been sitting in on something and it's a live presentation and it's like you can't pause it and go back. So that's what's nice about the Loom. So. All
Well,
right.
okay.
Thank
I'm
you,
thinking like
Jeff.
my planning meetings, even in January.
Yes.
That'd be very helpful. I don't know.
Well, you could even do some of it and then just have some tutorials to where you're not like, you could send it out to each district and they could watch, and you wouldn't have to be so repetitive and do the same meeting several times.
Right.
So,
Okay. All right.
Yeah, a community message,
Mhm.
even when you're emailing to your sponsors or people that participate, or even like a thank you message.
oh yeah,
That'd be cute.
that would be really cute.
And it makes it more personal. Like Jennifer said at the beginning, what the CEO developed it for was to really have that more personal contact with his own employees.
Yeah. Okay. I'll think about it. I'll play with it over the break and
And it's not hard, I promise. I was
Okay.
able to do, I
Oh,
got it
well.
and did my first video within like 5 minutes, so. But I will tell you the real funny story. April's gonna laugh because I told it this morning. I got up early one morning to do a video because Keith was also, we were both teaching from home. So you had to pick your, time wisely. So I got up extra early to do this video for a math problem I needed to share with my kids. So I am almost done with like this 12-minute video. And all of a sudden I hear this very strange noise from behind me and he is clipping his fingernails. And I'm like, are you serious? So, but that's nice because of the editing feature, you were able to edit out the clipping of the fingernails. So he had no clue I was doing a video. I don't even know what he thought I was doing, but I'm like, are
just talking to yourself.
I'm sure he thought that. But yeah, he was just back there clipping his fingernails. And I'm like, oh my Lord, help us. So
Buddy.
the joys of being at quarantine or at home together during the
Yeah.
remote learning. So anyway, all right.
Okay. Thanks, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Thanks,
thank
April.
you. Thank you, April.
No, thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thanks.
I'm going to stop recording. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.